Hello and welcome back to Herzography. My name is Rich and I'm here today with my good friend Johnny with Real Performance Guild.
Hi.
How we doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, all right.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not sure which way we're going on it.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, so I'm Johnny though. I'm from Real Performance Guild. I'm a certified corrective exercise specialist and a strength and conditioning coach. Today we're going to be talking about backpack usage, how to carry it, how to move along with it, and some corrective exercises that you can use to keep yourself nice and healthy. Especially if you're going to be out there taking long photos of beautiful scenery, and strength and conditioning exercises to keep yourself healthy so you can do it for longer. Mr. Richard is going to take care and show some of his equipment. So, Rich, tell me all about this.
All right, so most of us that are out landscape shooting, if not everybody, oh, thank you, is carrying around their backpack filled with their equipment. I've tested mine, and without the tripod on the side of the backpack, it weighs in at around 22 pounds. Some of you, once you put the tripod on, it's going to probably be more like 25 pounds. And as you know, it does get pretty heavy. We find ourselves in conditions like this where there's no rocks to kind of put the backpack on, and I'm usually grabbing it somehow to take it and lift it up over my shoulder. And of course, over the years I've got a little bit of back pain going, and so Johnny's here to kind of help all of us with how to work with our backpacks and strengthen our back.
So I love that this is filled with your crazy expensive amount of equipment in here. So what I don't love is the possibility of bringing it up, hurting yourself, and hurting your wallet when you drop it. So what I do like to recommend, once again, I am not a photography expert, that's his, right? What I will say is I do not like the amount of back bending he put into that in order to grab it up. If you don't have a rock, you don't have other ways to carry it up. The strap that's up here is designed to be one of the toughest parts to hold on to it. If you have a good shoulder, which I'm hoping you do, that's why you have a backpack, there are two ways that I'd like to bring the backpack up. Okay, so what I do recommend for you to pick up your backpack is to grab from this top strap right here, put your weight back against the tree, put a little bit of a squat in, okay? That way it saves your back. If you need to lean back into it, it prevents you from going into a heavy arch or getting that crazy arch just to lift that back into it. This tree will act as a brace for your back. Grab from the top of the strap, grab the opposing strap right here, lift it up. That way you got a nice good handle from the bottom if you need to. Just grab whatever you need from the inside. From there, you can also grab the strap now, reach from the bottom of the backpack and throw it in, okay? And so now you're all nice, strapped, ready to go. That's one way if you have a bad back to kind of just readjust from that. Same thing if you need to put it down, rest your back against here, save yourself the backache, save yourself some energy so you can take some beautiful photos later. The second way I like to talk about people, generally I don't really approach the bad shoulder. If you have a backpack, I'm assuming your shoulder is decent enough to actually strap it on there. But a commonality people do also have when they're holding a heavy backpack is bad knees. So you're gonna approach it very similar, except you can brace your knee or brace your leg just up against the tree right about here. That way your knee's not buckling anywhere crazy and you're nice and stable. Same concept, you're gonna do a light little squat down, grab that top strap right there, lift it up, rest it either on your front knee right there that you placed about, or on the back knee. That's either way is fine, okay? From there, strap in, reach under, throw it up, and you're good to go. Nice, safe, easy. So 20, 40 pounds, rock and roll, play from there. And like I said, I also love these backpacks with the little hip straps under there. Makes it nice and distributes the weights very easy on that. You're going?
And as you were bringing it up, you put your hand underneath to kind of help lift it.
Yes, so I like to, when I pull it up, I'm reaching, so right now I have a right hand on the top right here. So that means I'm gonna strap on my left shoulder. I'm reaching for the left strap right there. Lift up, my hand is on the strap that's about to twist over, except the only difference from here now is I'm grabbing the other free hand that's not on a strap to lift from the bottom. That way I'm making sure everything's nice and safe. Kind of like a baby, you know, you're kind of carrying it up. Pull through, except you don't strap a baby on your back though. But so it's nice and simple. You can throw the other shoulder in, strap in the hip belt, you're nice, good to go from it. And once again, if you feel uncomfortable, you can use any of the tricks, lay your back against the tree, and then pull it right back off again, and lay yourself a little safe mark, except I put my little arm back there.
And you recommend using the waistband?
So personally for me, I like the hip waistbands. It seems to distribute the weight evenly. When you have 20, 30, 40 pounds of equipment, like you said, right, on that back, eventually, depending on the way you're walking, it's either gonna create a lot of force because you're hugging it, trying to walk and carry everything up, or it's gonna pull you back. That waistband will help distribute weight into the hips a little bit more, so you're using other muscles to help guide yourself through. I personally think there is a use for it. Correct me if I'm wrong though, I feel like it's also more comfortable. So once again, I'm not an expert on the backpack, but I will say corrective wise, I would prefer if that was kind of like the case and you use that a little bit more for what it's given.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Are you better off putting the tripod in the backpack after you have it on your back, or do you want to try to strap it all in together?
So that I would believe is up to you. If it is the ability and the weight that's the issue, then instead of putting the tripod in and then strapping it on, I would strap it on and then put the tripod on, because it's going to be a little bit easier if the weight's distributed out that way.
Right.
But if the weight's not fully the issue, go ahead and load up the tripod. It's just obviously going to bring the weight up a little bit more, and use the same tactic to pull
Right,
up.
and then you're not getting in some weird position trying to put the tripod in,
And
because it's already on there.
you've mentioned earlier too, like if you don't have the ability to put it on a rock in order to help squat in to lift it up, using a brace like this kind of helps save yourself from that overarching in your back, that extension. Extension is not necessarily bad, but extension with an excess weight and an excess load that the body is not prepped to handle can cause a little bit more pain than you would like. So talking about prepping onto that, do you do any exercises to keep yourself either in a better shape or better position before you decide to?
No, I don't.
So that's where I would like to go into that too. So there are two main distinctions I would like to say: corrective exercises and then strength and conditioning. Both amazing. Give yourself a little bit of mobility in order for you to start filming, in order to warm yourself up, prime yourself up a little bit. Maybe you're taking a panoramic view, right, and you're rotating a little bit more. If that's the case, prime your body to get used to that. Hands across the chest, rotate, get that thoracic to open up a little bit, both ways. Even if you're putting that backpack, I talked about that extension, right? Extension, once again, it's not bad, but under excess load your body's not prepared for, it can be. So maybe we get that thoracic into a little bit of extension already and get it into flexion. Going back and forth, kind of just wheezing your body a little bit, greasing the grooves, get it going a little bit, rotate both ways, and now you're kind of prepared. You don't have to do a lot, 10, 15 of it, just to get the body kind of grooving a little bit.
And should that be done before you're going to put your backpack on, or do we do that in the morning before we're going out on a shoot, or does it not matter?
It's always healthy. You can't really do too much of this unless you're yanking it back and forth, right? That's another force that can add to that. You can do it early in the morning, prep yourself. If you know you're going for a long photo shoot, do it multiple times. Do it before you grab your backpack. Do a quick little rotation here and there, a little bit of extension, you know. Brace that body a little bit before it gets the load on. Even every now and then, if you know you're going on a long hike to get some beautiful photos, it could take an hour, 2 hours in, break it up, drop your backpack in 30 minutes, get a little bit of a warm up in, continue on. The load is gonna be your strengthening side of things. So we have to prepare and make sure that mobility lives and is nice and strong in our body before we add in that strengthening, that load factor. That's how I like to see things.
Okay.
It's building a good foundation for that. If you're doing strengthening outside the gym, that way or outside, not the gym, you're doing strengthening in the gym, then Simple things that you can do generally is going to be strengthening of the back. It sounds redundant, but it's going to be motions like rowing it. It's going to be motions like little pull downs here and there, getting a little external rotation of the shoulder, getting some health into there. Can you do strengthening with the backpack? I mean, once again, I mentioned there's probably thousands of dollars in equipment in there, so you probably don't want to activate a row with your backpack to get some strengthening in, or a deadlift exercise, right?
But could you?
But you could.
If that's all you had to work with.
If that's all you had to work with, 20 pounds of that, getting used to being able to lift 20 pounds nice and strong, that's what you're working with, that's what you're playing with. And then when you're outside of the field and you're conditioning, you're strengthening yourself for that, challenge yourself with more weight than you normally do. That way your body's prepared to, let's say this is 20 pounds. If you're rowing at the gym and you're rowing 30, 40 pounds, then your body is conditioned for 30, 40 pounds. It's gonna make moving 20 pounds easier. That's how we condition and strengthen our body for our everyday lives. That's how I see things.
So let's say most of us are at home, we don't have access to a gym. Yeah, we've got our backpack that we can fill up with all of our equipment. So can you give us an idea of a couple of exercises that would be good back strengthening exercises to at least using what we have?
Most definitely. So simple things to prepare yourself for it and strengthening wise, there are motions called isometric, meaning you keep the muscle tension at a certain length and you keep it there. Long story short, when we do a push-up and we're stuck in the bottom of a push-up, it's hard, right? But you stay there for about 10 seconds and it gets repetitively harder, but that is a way to build muscle when that's all you got to work with. There is that form, isometric, eccentric, and concentric. We'll talk about the isometric play on things. So a nice simple way of doing things is you pick and take your palms right here, face them up a little bit, and you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades down and low. So as you drive the shoulder blades down and low, you get a little bit of scap motion. Yep. And then you just kind of pull back. As you pull, squeeze your shoulder blades, get them activated.
Which way am I pulling back? This way?
Yep, just driving those elbows back. And from here, what I want you to do, go ahead and rotate for the camera. Show your back towards the camera.
Okay.
Good, 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 good. These two shoulder blades are chicken wings right here. We want them to try to pull back nice and tight. As they pull back nice and tight, the shoulder is gonna be nice and externally rotated. The scapula is gonna come together and get a nice compression right there. He's just gonna hold it for about 10 seconds, and then after 10 seconds, go ahead and drive it forward and relax. So notice how the shoulder blades kind of contract in and back out. That gives you a nice strengthening of the area. Something easy to do. You don't need weight, you don't need equipment. Just driving forward and backwards. Yep, yep, yep. And then you relax. Another factor I want you to think of, go ahead and face the camera now, is from here. He's gonna do the same exact movement. Go ahead, Richard, do that scap squeezing. Boom, perfect. Notice how Richard's shoulders kind of pull back right here. The humeral head sometimes likes to dip when you're trying to get too much range of motion and you're trying to drive back. So I want him to unshrug a little bit and relax that shoulder blade down. Beautiful. Now that's back there, go ahead and pull those shoulder blades back. Boom, 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 boom. A little tighter, a little harder to get. True range of motion, little healthier on the shoulder right there, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead and relax. And now you can completely relax. Give yourself a little wiggle, move the arms a little bit, get it a little bit loose, kind of move about. Small little exercises like that, there's a little bit of contraction, right? Strengthens the area, makes you nice and powerful. Then you're ready to groove on with your day. Same with more mobility, same with more strengthening.